Good morning, Makale. Good morning, Makale.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning, sir. Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning, sir.
Good morning.
morning,
Good
sir.
morning. Good morning.
Good morning,
Yes.
sir.
Good morning.
Good
How are you
morning,
feeling
sir.
today?
Very nice.
Good,
Very
sir.
nice. Sir.
Right. How is the day? How will you describe the day? Is it a rainy day, a sunny day, a cloudy day, or a
A
pleasant
cloudy
day?
day, sir.
A
Cloudy.
sunny day.
Sunny
Cloudy
days.
day, sir.
Is it a cloudy day? Are you sure?
No, it's a sunny day.
It's a sunny
Sunny
day.
days.
Sir, here it is cloudy, sir.
Fine. Do you find the day a pleasant one?
No.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Fine. Right. So I hope you people are studying for the coming examinations as well. Are you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. So today we'll be learning a new lesson which will not be there for your coming examination, but still we have to learn this lesson from your literature reader textbook. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. If yes, we are going to learn the lesson Madam Rides the Bus from our literature reader first flight, right? Madam Rides the Bus. What do you feel like when you hear about a bus journey?
Very
A
happy.
bumpy ride.
Right? Then what else? Or maybe at what age have you experienced your bus journey at first?
Um,
12.
12. 12. Right? Have you made a bus journey all alone by yourself yet?
Yes, sir.
no.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes. Very good. So this lesson is particular about a child who made out a bus journey, who carried out a bus journey at the age of 8. A very short child, a girl child of 8 years of age, carried out a bus journey all by her own. And the story is very interesting one, which is written by Valli Kannan. Right, the author's name is Valli Kannan, and Valli Kannan is the pseudonym of R.S. Krishnaswamy, a Tamil writer, journalist, critic, and translator from Tirunelveli in Tamil Nadu. He started writing at a very young age and had published 25 books by the time he was 30. He wrote a total of 75 books in his life: novels, novellas, poetry collections, plays, and essay anthologies. Valli Kannan is the pseudonym of R.S. Krishnaswamy. You know what a pseudonym is, right? That's a fictitious name that usually writers, actors, etc. use. Pseudonym, other name. Valli Kannan is the pseudonym of R.S. Krishnaswamy, and he was a Tamil writer, journalist, critic, and translator. Who is a critic? Who is a
The
critic?
man who judges
A person who
something.
writes critical appreciation, right? A person who writes critical appreciation for the works of some other people, right? Like poems, essays, and obviously as movies. Such kind of people are called critics. And he was also a translator, right? And he was basically from Tirunelveli in Tamil Nadu, and he started writing at a very young age and had published 25 books by the time he was 30. Very interesting. And he wrote a total of 75 books in his life, which includes novels, novellas, poetry collections, plays, and essays. You know what novels are, but tell me what these novellas are. What is novella? Novella. You don't know. Novellas are actually not that lengthy as novels, but lengthier than what you call as short stories. Right? It is something, a genre which lies in between short stories and novels, novellas. Okay, and you know what plays are, right? Play, what is play? Play is obviously drama, right?
Yes, sir.
Drama.
Drama and
And
Yes,
also
sir.
he wrote a number of essay anthologies. Essay anthologies. What is anthology? Anthology is a collection of essays, right? A collection of essays. And also he has been awarded with the Sahitya Academy Award for Tamil in 1978, and he passed away in 2006. So this is all about the author Valli Kannan, who was writing in the pseudonym Valli Kannan. The name was R.S. Krishnaswamy. Shall we move on to the lesson? Madam Rides the Bus.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In this sensitive story, an 8-year-old girl's first bus journey into the world outside her village is also her induction into the mystery of life and death. This is the story of a child, an 8-year-old child who has been introduced to the realities of outside world for the very first time. You know, as far as a child of 8 years is concerned, she may be in the confined to the safe shells, the secured shells of the pampering of her parents, her teachers, her relatives, her neighbors, obviously, right? But this is the first time an 8-year-old girl is getting inducted, which means introduced to the outside world, and also she sees the gap between our knowing that there is death and our understanding of it. This is the story where she identifies, she understands that there is a phenomenon which is titled death. An 8-year-old child is getting familiarized with the concept of death for the very first time, and the way she understands it, grasps it, is all about the story. Shall we begin?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. To the lesson. There was a girl named Valli Ammai who was called Valli for short. She was 8 years old and very curious about things. Her favorite pastime was standing in the front doorway of her house, watching what was happening in the street outside. There were no playmates of her own age on her street, and this was about all she had to do. There was a girl named Valli Ammai who was called Valli for short. The story is about a girl who is named Valli Ammai, and she was called Valli for short. She was 8 years old and she was very curious about things. And her favorite pastime, her favorite time pass is pastime, was standing in front of the doorway of her house and observing the things that are happening outside the house, especially in the street which is nearby. And there were no playmates of her own age on her street, and this was about all she had to do. She had no so many friends nearby her house, and she was curious about the things that were happening in the street which is near to her home, and she came outside the house and used it to enjoy and observe the things that were happening there. But for Valli, standing at the front doorway was every bit as enjoyable as any of the elaborate games other children played. Watching the street gave her many new unusual experiences. She was unlike the other children of her age, that she was not much into what is called games that were played by children of her age. And the most curious factor that pleased her was not the elaborate games that the other children of her age played, but instead watching the street alone, observing the street alone and understanding the things that happened there, that were happening there, gave her what you call as enormous pleasure, and she got what you call as some unusual experiences as well. The most fascinating thing of all was the bus that traveled between her village and the nearest town. It passed through her street each hour, once going to the town and once coming back. The sight of the bus filled each time with a new set of passengers was a source of unending joy for Valli. The most fascinating thing of all the incidents, the happenings occurred in the street was a bus which passed through her village, which passed through the street and connected her village to the nearby what you call as town. And it passed through her street each hour, and once going to the town and once coming back. And the sight of this bus filled each time with new set of passengers. You know what happens when a bus, what is called pass through our street, right? The sight of this bus passing through the corner of our street with new sets of passengers filled in it each time gave enormous piece of what you call as happiness and excitement to the child who is named Valli. Got it? Are you able to
Yes, sir.
understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes. Right. Day after day, she watched the bus, and gradually a tiny wish crept into her head and grew there. She wanted to ride on that bus, even if just once. This wish became stronger and stronger until it was an overwhelming desire. Wally would stare wistfully at the people who got on and off the bus when it stopped at the street corner. Their faces would kindle in her longings, dreams, and hopes. If one of her friends happened to ride the bus and tried to describe the sights of the town to her, Wally would be too jealous to listen and would shout in English, "Proud, proud." Neither she nor her friends really understood the meaning of the word, but they used it often as a slang expression of disapproval. Day after day, she watched the bus and gradually a tiny wish crept into her head and grew there. Every day she used to watch the bus passing through her street, and day after day a tiny wish, a small wish crept into her mind slowly, and gradually it has become a strong desire, an intense wish in her mind. She wanted to ride on that bus even if just once. She happened to have a new, what is called a dream, a desire to ride in the bus at least once. This wish became stronger and stronger until it was an overwhelming desire. This small wish gradually grown into what you call as an overwhelming, an unresistible desire which this 8-year-old child had. While Wally would stare wistfully at the people who got on and off the bus when it stopped at the street corner. Their faces would kindle in her longings, dreams, and hopes. She used to stare at the people. Since the bus each time carried different sets of people, she used to stare at the people who got on and off the bus, since she wanted to learn many things from such people who could be termed as who can be definitely termed as the passengers of that bus. If one of her friends happened to ride the bus and tried to describe the sights of the town to her, Wally would be too jealous. If any of her friends happened to enjoy a bus ride and would come to recite this story, to tell this story to Wally and her group of friends, she would become, along with the other children, she would become too jealous, and as a sign of what is called her jealous, she would say, "Proud, proud." Proud, proud is what is called an informal usage, an informal usage of your an informal usage of your what you call as disapproval to something, right? Proud, proud, an informal usage of your disapproval, right? And in English she would say, "Proud, proud." Neither she nor her friends really understood the meaning of the word, but they used it often as a slang expression of disapproval, even though these children didn't know what it meant by reciting "proud, proud." They used to utter these words when they have something to express a disapproval. So this is it. A child of 8 years of age has slowly become very fond of making a bus journey, and she was deeply fascinated by the sight, attracted by the sight of a bus passing through the corner of her street, and gradually a tiny wish crept into her mind to ride in the bus, and she used to closely observe the passengers of the bus who got on and off it when it comes to the street. She watched their expressions, she listened to what they were speaking, since she wanted to collect information regarding how to what is called fulfill her dreams, her small wish, which has gradually become what you call as her intense, her overwhelming desire, right? Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes. Okay. Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Over many days and months, Wally listened carefully to conversations between her neighbors and people who regularly used the bus. And she also asked a few discreet questions here and there. This way, she picked up various small details about the bus journey. The town was 6 miles from her village. The fare was 30 paise one way, which is almost nothing at all, she heard one well-dressed man say. But to Wally, who scarcely saw that much money from one month to the next, it seemed a fortune. The trip to the town took 45 minutes. On reaching town, if she stayed in her seat and paid another 30 paise, she could return home on the same bus. This meant that she could take the 1 o'clock afternoon bus, reach the town at 1:45 and be back home by about 2:45. Over many days and months, Valli listened carefully to conversations between her neighbors and people who regularly used the bus. She was very fond of making a bus journey to ride in a bus, and in order to fulfill her dreams, she started her research to get to know how to carry out a bus journey, how to make a bus journey. In order to make her desire happen, she used to keenly what is called listen to the conversations of her people, her neighbors, and the other people who used to travel in the bus as passengers, right? And she also asked a few discrete questions here and there. Discrete is careful, sharp questions here and there in order to clarify her ideas regarding how to carry out a bus journey, how to make a bus journey, how to ride in a bus. Then this way she picked up various small details about the bus journey. She has come to know various minute, even minute details about the bus journey, and these are the information that she has collected. Like, the town was 6 miles from her village. The town was 6 miles away from her village. Then the fare was 30 paise one way. The fare to carry out the bus journey was 30 paise one way. So in order to go to the destination and then come back, she wanted 60 paise in total in order to give us the bus fare. Then, and which is almost nothing at all, she heard one well-dressed man say. She once heard a well-dressed man, an elite man, an elegant man saying 30 paise or 60 paise is not actually a big deal. But for Valli, who scarcely saw that much money from one month to the next, it seemed a fortune. But she didn't have what you call as the fortune to at least even see 60 paise ever in her life. So as far as she was concerned, to have 30 paise as the bus fare to one side and again 30 paise in total 60 paise to carry out her dreams was it appeared to be a fortune, and it's not exactly like the opinion of the well-dressed man. Then the trip to the town took 45 minutes. On reaching town, if she stayed in her seat and paid another 30 paise, she could return home on the same bus. She understood that it was actually a 45 minutes long bus ride to reach the destination, and the same time would be needed in order to come back. So this was the conclusion that she has come to. Like, she could take the 1 o'clock afternoon bus, reach the town at 1:45 and be back home by about 2:45. This is how she collected the needed information, even the minute information regarding what you call as the bus journey. On and on went her thoughts as she calculated and recalculated, planned and replanned. Such were the thoughts, such were the calculations, such were the plannings that she has done in order to fulfill her dream, her what you call as intense dream of making a bus journey or riding in a bus. Right? Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you enjoying the story?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anything to ask at this point of time?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Right. Then let me ask you something. Right? Anybody can answer. What was Valli's favorite pastime? One can say. Savand.
Yes, sir.
What was Valli's favorite pastime?
Watching the street, observing the street, seeing the bus
Very good.
going
Very
to the
good.
town and coming back.
Very good. Very good. Valli's favorite pastime was observing the happenings of what you call as the street, her street in the village, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. Next one. What was a source of unending joy for Valli? What was her strongest desire? Who's going to answer?
Sir, can I?
Sir, can I?
Yeah. The first one can, because I can't see your name.
Sir, she had this desire to at least travel in the bus at least once.
Yes. Right. And what was her strongest desire? This has exactly become her strongest desire, right? She wanted to ride in a bus. That was the strongest desire that this 8-year-old child had. And what was the source of unending joy for Valli? The source of unending joy for Valli was coming out of a house and watching the street and observing the happenings in the street, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
especially
sir.
the bus that passed through her street connecting her village to the town gave her unending joy, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Right, then I have one more question. What did Valli find out about the bus journey? Who is going to answer?
Sir, can I?
Yeah, you can.
Sir, she found out that she had to pay 30 paise to go to the town,
Okay.
and returning also 30 paise. And
Right.
if she goes on the 1 o'clock bus, she
Right.
would get to the town at 1:45,
Right.
and after that she would get home at 2:45.
Right.
Uh, then she knew a lot of small details and all from the people who are talking about the bus, and
Fine.
man and she heard some other details from a man also who was not caring about the 60 pieces, because it was very easy for him to get it, but it was a fortune for the girl to get those 60 pieces,
Very good.
because
Very
she
good.
has never seen it in her entire life.
In her life. Very good. Very good. Is Adil Sakir there?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Adil, how did she manage to get the information that she needed?
She asked you discreet questions and she observed her surroundings carefully.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Is Maithili there?
Yes, sir.
Maithili, how much did it cost for a journey back and forth? Back and forth. You know what is
60.
back and forth, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So how much did it cost?
Yeah, it cost 60 paise, sir.
It cost 60 paise, right? Does anybody else want to answer another question? Anyhow, I have a question.
Yes,
What?
sir.
Yes, okay. What do you think Valli was planning to do?
Valli was planning to go to the town and get and by the same bus.
Right. Valli was planning to ride in a bus. See, let me ask you something. What do you think about the mindset, the mental state of an 8-year-old child when she is eagerly finding and collecting information regarding a bus journey all by her own? See, we have already been told that she has collected information from the people who were nearby, the neighbors, right, the passengers that she has seen in random. But has she made any question, has she asked any questions to her parents or someone else at home?
No, sir.
No.
No, she has not yet, right? What does that mean? What do you think it means?
She wants to do
If the
it right.
parents knew, they would let her go.
Because she knows that if the parents get to know, or if the people at home get to know that she is planning for a journey, that wouldn't happen, right? So she might be planning to ride in a bus all by her own without getting into the notice of the knowledge of the
Parents.
Her
parents, the parents and the others at home, right?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, fine. Right. I hope you people got what I was saying. Are you copying?
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Shall we continue?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Well, one fine spring day, the afternoon bus was just on the point of leaving the village and turning into the main highway when a small voice was heard shouting, "Stop the bus! Stop the bus!" and a tiny hand was raised commandingly. Well, one fine spring day, the afternoon bus was just on the point of leaving the village. The afternoon bus, the bus in the afternoon time that was about to leave the village, and they could hear a small voice coming from nowhere. When they looked at where this voice was coming, they could see a child shouting, "Stop the bus! Stop the bus!" and a tiny hand was raised commandingly. She was giving instructions. She was asking the bus driver or the conductor maybe to stop the bus. The bus slowed down to a crawl, and the conductor, sticking his head out the door, said, "Hurry then, tell whoever is to come quickly." The bus slowed down to a crawl. It slowly stopped. The bus has come to a stop slowly, and the conductor, sticking his head out the door, by peeping out through what is called the door, the space, he shouted to Ali, "Quick then, hurry then, what are you waiting for? Tell whoever it is to come and get in." Tell whoever it is to come and get in, which means the conductor was not expecting this child coming for a bus journey. "It's me," shouted Wali. "I'm the one who has to get on." See, who do you want me to get on the bus? It is myself who is coming with you people to the town. I want to come with you. I am the one who is to get on. By now, the bus had come to a stop, and the conductor said, "Oh, really? You don't say so." The conductor was not able to believe what she was saying, and by this time the bus had come to a stop, and he was excited. He was amazed by such words of the child, that she was about to get on the bus to have a ride. "Yes, I simply have to go to town," said Valli, still standing outside the bus. "And here is my money." She showed him some coins. "Yes, I am the one who is coming to the town with you people. I am the one who is to ride on the bus." She said, "I simply have to go to town. I just want to go to town. Why do you care? And here is the money." She showed some coins as well. Okay, but first you must get on the bus," said the conductor, and he stretched out a hand to help her up. Okay, that's right. You can come with us, but to come with us, you need to get on the bus at first. By saying this, he stretched his hands out so that the child could grab his hand and get on the bus. "Never mind," she said. "I can get on by myself. You don't have to help me." "Never mind, you don't have to help me. I can get on the bus all by myself." Right. The conductor was a jolly sort, fond of joking. "Oh, please don't be angry with me, my fine madam," he said. "Here, have a seat right up there in front. Everybody move aside, please. Make way for madam." The conductor was not a serious man. He was a jolly sort. He was fond of joking. He was a jolly kind of man. "Oh, please don't be angry with me, my fine madam," by getting what is called the behavior of the child as if she was an elder one, as if she was an elderly, what is called a lady. The child was definitely not behaving like an 8-year-old child, like a child. She was behaving, she was talking to the conductor so boldly, right? She hesitated when the conductor offered his hand extended to her in order to grab it and get on the bus. This action, and also the way she spoke to the conductor, the way the child spoke to the conductor, gave him a clear idea that the child was pretending to be a bold one. And the conductor was a jolly sort, a jolly kind of man. He started to make fun of her with his words. "Oh, please don't be angry with me, my fine madam." He addresses the child for the very first time as madam, since madam is a respected lady, right? "Please don't angry with me." Such were the words coming from the side of the conductor. "Here, have a seat right up here in front. Everybody move aside, please. Make way for madam." He also called out for the attention of the other passengers in the bus, so that they could also see a child, an 8-year-old child, coming to the bus, getting on the bus all by herself in order to ride on it, right? It was the slack time of the day, and there were only 6 or 7 passengers on the bus. They were all looking at Valli and laughing with the conductor. Valli was overcome with shyness. Avoiding everyone's eyes, she walked quickly to an empty seat and sat down. It was the slack time of the day. Slack time is the lazy time of the day, having nothing to do, too busy, right? When there is not
Yes, sir.
so much work. It was the slack time of the day, yeah, right. And there were only 6 or 7 passengers on the bus. There were not so many passengers on the bus. It was just 6 or 7. They were all looking at Valli and laughing with the conductor. Since the conductor asked what is called out for the attention of the people, said, so that they could also see the child coming in. They all, the people who were in the bus, looked at Valli while she was climbing on the bus, and she was overcome with shyness since she got what is called the sights of all the other passengers. Avoiding everyone's eyes, she walked quietly to an empty seat and sat down. She went straight away to an empty seat and took her position. See, she sat down on that seat, avoiding everyone's eyes. She was too disturbed, she was too distracted, right? She was not enthusiastic now, she was too disturbed because she was getting the eyes of what is called the sight of all the other people. They all were looking at her, and also they were also laughing at her along with the conductor, right? May we start now, madam? The conductor asked, smiling. Then he blew his whistle twice and the bus moved forward with a roar. He asked the child, may we start now, madam? The conductor asked her. The conductor asked Valli, smiling with a smiling face. He blew the whistle twice so that the bus could start moving, and it started moving forward. It was a new bus. Its outside painted a gleaming white with some green stripes along the sides. Inside, the overhead bars shone like silver. Directly in front of Valli, above the windshield, there was a beautiful clock. The seats were soft and luxurious. It was a new bus. She started to devour the bus. She started to closely observe what is called the bus, the inside and the outside of the bus. It was a new bus. Its outside painted a gleaming white with some green stripes along the sides outside. Inside the bus, the overhead bars shone like silver. Overhead bars shone like silver, and directly in front of Valli there was a clock which was placed there. There was a beautiful clock. The seats were soft and also luxurious. Such was the observation of the child regarding the bus. Valli devoured everything with her eyes. But when she started to look outside, she found her view cut off by a canvas blind that covered the lower part of her window. So she stood up on the seat and peered over the blind. Valli devoured everything. Devoured is actually absorbed. She got the sight and she got a detailed study of everything that was inside the bus and outside. But when she started to look outside, she found her view cut off by a canvas blind. When she wanted to see, when she wanted to observe what was happening outside the bus, her view, her sight was cut off by a canvas blind. You know what blinds are, right? Her view was cut off by a canvas blind, and blind that covered her lower part of the window. So she stood up on the seat and peered over the blind. Since she was not able to see what was happening outside by sitting on the seat, since her sight was what is called a cut off, her view was cut off by a canvas blind, what she did was she stood up on the seat. She stood up on the seat of the bus and started to peer out through the window. Then the bus was now going along the bank of a canal. The road was very narrow. On one side there was the canal, and beyond it palm trees, grassland, distant mountains and the blue sky. On the other side was a deep ditch, and then acres and acres of green fields. Green, green, green as far as the eye could see. The bus was now coming along the bank of a canal. The bus was now moving through the banks of a canal. The road was very narrow. The road was very narrow. On one side, two sides are there. On one side, there was a canal, and beyond it, palm trees, grassland, distant mountains, and the blue sky. When she was closely observing one side of the bus outside, she could see a canal. The bus was passing on what is called the banks of the canal, and also beyond it she could see some palm trees, grassland, distant mountains, and then the blue sky. On the other side, when she looked outside through the windows of the bus, on the other side she could see a deep ditch and then acres and acres of green fields. A deep ditch is what we call as a trench, right? A trench. You know what a trench is? You know, right? What a trench is? Do you know? A ditch, a trench?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
right. Okay. So on the other side, she could see a deep ditch and then acres and acres of green fields. Green, as far as the eye could see. Then, oh, it was all so beautiful. The child was literally enjoying after having a detailed study of the bus, since it was the very first time that she was on a bus, and she made a detailed study, a devouring of an absorption through her eyes of what you call as the minute details of the bus, and she now knows the structure of the bus, the paint, the color of the bus, and what are the things that are there in the bus, she knows. And after that, she wanted to enjoy the view outside. So since her sight was cut off by a canvas blind, she stood up on one of the seats and then started to observe, to enjoy the sights outside the bus. And she saw some palm trees, grassland, distant mountains, a canal, then a ditch on the other side, and acres of green, what is called a field. These sights were very wonderful, very much wonderful. Suddenly, she was startled by a voice. "Listen, child," said the voice. "You shouldn't stand like that. Sit down." While she was enjoying the sights on the opposite sides, on the two sides, she was disturbed. She was interfered, intrigued, intervened by a voice. "Listen, child, you shouldn't stand like that. Sit down." Somebody was asking her commandingly not to stand but to sit down on her seat. And she didn't know who it was. Sitting down, she looked to see who had spoken. It was an elderly man who had honestly been concerned for her, but she was annoyed by his attention. She came to understand that after sitting down, when she looked back to see who it was, she could understand that it was an elderly man who had no other intentions but was honestly concerned about the child, because there are possibilities of or vulnerabilities of the child falling down and hurting herself. "There is nobody here who's a child," she said haughtily. "I have paid my 30 paise like everyone else." The child was too disturbed, right? The child was too disturbed because she was addressed a child. What was he saying? "Listen, child, you shouldn't stand like that," right? She was too disturbed, not because of what he had asked her for, but instead he addressed her as a child. There is nobody here who is a child. Who said there is a child? We are all passengers in a bus. Exactly like you people, the passengers, I have also paid as what is called the bus fare. So you can consider me as a co-passenger, not a child. She said haughtily. Haughtily is proudly. The conductor chimed in. "Oh, sir, this is a very grown-up madam. Do you think a mere girl could pay her own fare and travel to the city all alone?" "Sir, excuse me, sir." The conductor chimed in. Chimed in means joined the conversation without being welcomed, without being asked for, right? The conductor chimed in. "Oh, sir, but this is a very grown-up madam." "Sir, you are mistaken. This is not a child. This is a grown-up madam." And do you consider a child, a mere child, can carry out, can ride in a bus all by herself and visit the town, the city? Wally shot an angry glance at the conductor and said, "I am not a madam. Please remember that. And you have not given me my ticket." Right? She shot an angry glance at the conductor. She stared at the conductor angrily and said, "I am not a madam. Who asked you to make a comment? I am not the conductor. I am not a madam. Please remember that. And you have not yet given me my ticket." It means that you do your job at first and then you come and interfere in the tasks that are going around. "I'll remember," the conductor said, mimicking her tone. Everyone laughed, and gradually Wally too joined in the laughter. Having heard the child's irritated sound, irritated voice, everybody in the bus laughed. And along with them, she also laughed. The conductor punched a ticket and handed it to her. Just sit back and make yourself comfortable. Why should you stand when you have paid for a seat? She handed over her ticket after punching it out and asked her to sit down. He requested her to sit down. Since she has already paid to sit on a seat, she doesn't have to stand up. And she replied, because I want to. She answered, standing up again. Yes, I am standing up because I want to. Because my intention is actually not just to ride in the bus, but instead to enjoy the sights and what is called enjoy the experiences that I am getting in this bus journey. So this is my business. That's why I am standing. But if you stand on the seat, you may fall and hurt yourself when the bus makes a sharp turn or hits a bump. That's why we want you to sit down, child. See, it is not because of any other things. There are possibilities of you falling down if you stand on the seat, if the bus takes a sharp turn, or if the bus hits a bump. If the bus hits a bump, there are possibilities of vulnerability of you falling down and hurting yourself. That's why we ask you to sit on the bus, child. I'm not a child, I tell you, she said irritably. I'm 8 years old. I'm not a child. I told you already. Who told you that I'm a child? I'm not a child. I'm a passenger. And you know something? I'm not a child. I'm 8 years old. She was too proud to declare, to proclaim herself to be an elder one, right? Of course, how stupid of me. 8 years, even though the conductor was not what is called convinced with the fact that she was trying to be too proud, she was trying to be too bold, she was pretending to be too bold. He agreed to her, he heeded to her what her intention was. Yes, of course. How stupid of me. It was my mistake. I'm sorry. It was my mistake that I saw you as a child. I considered and treated you as a child. The bus stopped. Some new passengers got on and the conductor got busy for a time. Afraid of losing her seat, Valli finally sat down. Right. 1 second please in between. See, Valli was at first not ready to accept to accept the hand of the conductor in order to get in the bus. The next time she was angry with the conductor, with the elderly man, because he addressed her as child. The next time she was very angry with the conductor because he treated her like a child. What does it show? What is the sign that the author is about to give you? What does it mean by
She's,
giving such signs? Right.
trying to act like an elderly person, like pretending to know everything, no need of any advices.
Yes, she is at a point where she has accepted herself. She know herself that she knows every minute details regarding the bus journey, right? And she considers herself not as a child, but instead she considers herself to be one of the passengers, right? Not what she demands is equality, right? She wanted them to accept her as a passenger. That's why she was very angry, she was irritated, she was literally exasperated when these people, her co-passengers, were treating her like a child. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. The bus stopped. Some new passengers got on and the conductor got busy for a time. Afraid of losing her seat, Valli finally sat down. Right. Are you with me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
Okay. An elderly woman came and sat beside her. Are you all alone, dear? She asked Valli as the bus started again. The bus came to a stop. Some people got on the bus and off the bus. And by that time, an elderly woman came and sat beside her. And she asked some questions as well. Are you alone, child? Are you alone, dear? Well, he found the woman absolutely repulsive, with such big holes she had in her earlobes and such ugly earrings in them. And she could smell the betel nut that the woman was chewing and see the betel juice that was threatening to spill over her lips at any moment. Wally found the woman absolutely repulsive, causing strong dislike. had a strong disapproval for the appearance of the lady, since she had big ear holes and the ear lobes were also there with such ugly earrings in them. And she could smell the betel nut the woman was chewing. The woman was chewing a betel nut, and she was also threatened, what is called, by being spelled over with the betel juice from the woman's mouth. Who could be sociable with such a person? The child felt so disgusting, and she didn't want even to make a conversation with the lady. But she replied, "Yes, I am traveling alone." She answered curtly, "And I have got a ticket too." "Yes, I am traveling alone," she answered curtly. Curtly is showing displeasure. "And I've got a ticket too. I have got a ticket too. I'm traveling alone with a ticket," which means you don't have to park in, you don't have to interfere. "Yes, she's on her way to town," said the conductor, with a 30 paise ticket. Again the conductor chimed in and added that the child is going to the town, the child is on her way to the town, and that too with a 30 paise ticket. The child got irritated again. "Oh, why don't you mind your own business?" said Valli. But she laughed all the same, and the conductor laughed too. By saying this, even though she was irritated, she was talking to the conductor this time in what you call as the normal, the usual childish manner. But she asked, "Why don't you mind your own business? Why do you want to come and interfere in my things, my dealings, my deeds?" But the old woman went on with her drivel. "Is it proper for such a young person to travel alone? Do you know exactly where you are going in town? What's the street? What's the house number?" The old woman was not ready to satisfy herself even after getting answers from the child or from the conductor. So she continued with her drivel. Drivel is a silly nonsense. She continued digging for things to know things from the child. She asked about the whereabouts of the journey. "Do you exactly know where you are going to? Where is the town? What is the house number?" Such details were asked. "You need not bother about me. I can take care of myself," Valli said, turning her face towards the window and staring out. But by this time, Valli was too much irritated and exasperated by such questions from a lady who gave awful sights to her. So she warned her not to bother in her dealings, in her things, since she can take care of herself, since she could take care of herself. By saying these words to the lady, the old lady, she turned her face and started looking outside through the window, staring outside through the window. Right. Anything is there that you want to ask? Since I would like to stop here because we have almost come to the end of the time. Have you understood?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Have you enjoyed till this portion?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Can somebody tell me just quite a few questions? Can somebody tell me what is the nature of Valli? What is your understanding of Valli?
She's very curious.
She's very curious.
She's
Very
a good
mature.
observer.
A bold child.
She pretends to be a bold one. She was not childish. Then
Boastful.
truthful. Then
No, boastful.
right.
She's
Boastful. Then
Courageous.
courageous, very good, courageous. And she was a studious child, it seems, right? Because she herself collected all the information regarding the bus journey, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And she wanted acceptance. She wanted others to recognize her as a co-passenger, not a child, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. So shall we end now? Shall we stop right here for today?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
Yes, sir.
right. All the very best for your examinations. Study your lessons. The other teacher will join in a few time. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Please wait for the other class. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Right.